Sting of the Bee. That is the funniest story because Sting of the Bee was a complete fluke. It was a complete fluke. It started off as not even a song at all. It started off as a guitar exercise. I remember I had this guitar that I bought at a place called Guitar Studio right here in Bryan, Texas, and it's still there. And I took some lessons, but I never got far with it. And then eventually I just kind of taught myself like the chords of the guitar. And this is back when Lance Cook was living with me, and him and I were it was him. Cracking the Wall consisted of him and me at this time. And what I was doing was I was playing E. I knew how to play like E, A, D, and G, which is the chords of the song. But I couldn't switch from G to D. And so basically I was trying to switch from G to D. And Lance had a friend over at the time, a woman named Kelly Bennett. And she was hanging out with us for a couple days. And I was just playing. Lance was at work, because Lance was living, he was at work. I think he was at work, or maybe he was grocery shopping. And I was just, sitting at home, sitting on the floor, I think Indian style, playing on my Gretsch guitar, like D to G. And then I decided to put in E and A and see what that sounded like, because I could play those two chords. I'm thinking, oh, this sounds pretty cool. It kind of sounds like Neil Young after the Gold Rush era, and that's probably my favorite Neil Young album. Always been a big fan of Neil Young, and I really like that era. I like a lot of his albums, but that was an album that really hit me. But at the same time, it's just like I wasn't trying to write like Neil Young, and I've never tried to write like an artist. I've never said, "Oh, let's just be like that." Yeah, I'm not Oasis. I'm not trying to rip off the British invasion or anything like they did. But so that's how it started. It started, the chords of the song started as a guitar exercise. And the lyrically it's about a woman who was a singer-songwriter. Her name was Therese Catherine Ellis. And she was a friend of, as I mentioned in my last video, she's gone, Summer Nash. She was one of Summer Nash's closest friends, and they tried to form this kind of band together called Nash, and there was I went and saw them at Red Eyed Fly, took some video, put it on YouTube, so that's still up there. There's one song by Teresa's project, and one song from Summer's project, from the Red Eyed Fly. But basically, what happened was, I was at home and I was looking at the Kick Butt Coffee calendar, and I had some time to go out, and saw that Therese was playing at the Triangle Kick Butt Coffee. That sadly is no longer there. They couldn't afford their rent, but you could still go to the Airport Boulevard one, and that's cool. It's not as cool as the Triangle, but so Therese was playing the Triangle, and I went to go see her, and she played about, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. Just her and a guitar, and she was singing. And after the show, I talked to her briefly, and I said, hey, I'm trying to work on a CD right now, and we spoke briefly. She had to kind of run. She was with her boyfriend at the time. She had to kind of run, but we got a good about 5-minute conversation, and I was telling her, like, yeah, my friend Lance and I were trying to work on a CD. Do you want to sing on my album? And she's like, oh, F yeah, I'll sing on your album. Heck yeah, I'll sing on your album. Yeah, I'd love to. And it was a really cool conversation, but she was telling me basically that I'm about to move to Denver, Colorado. So I don't know how much time we're going to do it. I don't remember the exact words, but she told me she was moving to Denver, Colorado. And she had this hat that she made, this little wool hat, or not wool hat, but this like hat for the cold, made out of yarn. It was yellow and black, because her project was the Bee Sting Sessions. That's what she was calling herself at the time. And I said, where can I get a hat like that? And she was wearing the hat on her head. She's like, oh, here, just take this one. I'm like, wow, that's really nice of you. And I wore that hat quite a bit. It was comfortable and it was beautiful. She was very talented. She could make those hats really well. And her boyfriend would wear one. And so basically, she had to run, and that was the last time I ever saw her. We kept in touch through Facebook, briefly. Not too much, because she kind of wasn't into the Facebook thing. She didn't Facebook too much, and when she does, I still have her as a friend on there, but when she does Facebook, it's like an eclipse. She'll do a post like maybe twice a year. So it's an eclipse. If you miss the post from Teresa Ellis, you've missed the eclipse. So after that conversation, I went home, and I don't think anybody was home. I think Lance was either playing a gig that night. I think he might have been playing a gig, or I think I had the apartment to myself. So I grabbed the guitar and played those chords. That was the guitar exercise that I was talking about, A, E, D, and G. And I started writing words like, I'm going to miss you when you go to Denver. Hope that you can make it okay when you get with the people in Denver. Play them your songs and let them feel your sting. Sting of the bee. Bee sting sessions. It's I guess it was kind of a coded word. That was one of those instances where the song just came to me because of an instant that happened to me. That's where I got lucky. I didn't really know Therese very well. We weren't really friends. She was an acquaintance, and I liked her as an artist. I respected her and thought she had good songs and thought she was a cool person. And one thing I can't leave out was she was a Frank Zappa fan. Like, hello, this pretty attractive woman, very physically attractive woman, very, great attitude, so she's on the inside very attractive too. She likes Frank Zappa. We're friends! I don't care how good or bad her music is. We're friends. No, actually, I do care. She is very talented. I like her stuff. And so yeah, she went off to Denver. Actually, I think she lived outside of Denver. I think it was a little city outside of Denver. But that's how the song got written. It was about our conversation. And that was the last time I saw her. And now I know she's in Texas. She's in San Antonio somewhere. But I haven't seen her. But the very first music video Crack in the Wall ever did was Sting of the Bee. That was our first ever video. And she did get to see the video, and she liked it, and she made a joke. Because toward the end of the video, you'll see these two bees, like, on top of a Jolly Rancher eating it. Because, bees like sugar. And they're just going, and that's one thing she made a joke. She's like, oh wow, cool video. Those bees are really going after that hard candy. And that just put a smile on my face. It made me happy that she took the time to watch the video. And she liked the song that it was written about her. She was very, very touched by that. And which is a good thing, because not every woman I've written a song for appreciated that. Not everybody liked that. Some kind of hated me for it. But I've got some more song stories to tell. So stay tuned for the ones that were not happy. I've got some really good ones to tell, and you're gonna like this. Oh man, these song story videos are a lot of fun. They're very therapeutic, and I'm glad that Lance Cook, told me to do them. I'm glad he actually, because if it's something I thought about doing, but I just didn't know if anybody was going to really care about the song stories. But I'm glad that he came up with this idea, and they're very therapeutic to do them. So I try to do them as, if I can't do them daily, I try to do them pretty often. Finally had some downtime to do this one. It's been a busy day. I worked, went to the bank, went to the grocery store with the family's caretaker, and got some Thanksgiving stuff, got some food for the house. Then I had a doctor's appointment and pharmacy, and just now getting this done. So that's the story of Sting of the Bee. That's what the song is about. And I will say briefly, the music video, and I'll put a link. If you haven't seen the music video for Sting of the Bee, I'm very proud of it, and a lot of people really liked it. I'll put a link to the video in the description of Sting of the Bee. But Joe Brostowitz, the other guy from Crack in the Wall, I love you to death, Joe, you know I do. He was living with me at the time, and he's really good. His main thing is doing videos. Videos are, I mean, music is his love, but videos, doing video editing projects, that's his passion. And I told him, look, I really want to do a music video. I want to do it for Sting of the Bee. And we went around to different places. If you watch the video, you'll see there's Ruta Maya, there's Zilker Park, the Barton Springs area with the playground. And on the recording, Lance plays guitar and bass on the recording. And at first it was just going to be me in the video, walking around and stuff like that. And then we're hanging out, Joe and I are hanging out, and we already had filmed some stuff, but we just happened to be home, and we get an unexpected knock on the door. I'm not expecting, are you expecting anyone? Open the door, and it's LC. And we were just so happy to see him just unexpectedly. I'm thinking, dude, this is perfect timing because we're in the middle of making a video. You should be in this video because you played on the record. You're credited with writing this song. And I arranged the song. I told Lance, you know, what I wanted. Okay, I want 2 guitar parts. I want the chords that I played, and then I want kind of a jangly Peter Buck type guitar line over it. And Lance and I were listening to a lot of REM at the time. We would play open mics, and we would do. I remember we would go to like the Red Shed and 290 West. And I know we did Fall on Me at the Red Shed, so we were listening to a lot of REM at the time. And the bass was all him, you know. And but he just came at the right time. And one of the reasons why that video is so cool is because Lance Cook is in it. So it's not just one guy in Crack in the Wall. It's both of us. You saw this. That's the line. When you see the video, you see the both of us in the video. That was the lineup of Crack in the Wall. That was actually a year after he had left the band because he moved to Waco. But since he's on the recording, he was in the band in 2011 when we recorded that. The video came out in 2012. So I'm very proud of that video, and like I said, I'll put a link in the description if those who are watching it would never, you know, haven't seen it yet. You can see it now. I will say Lance's favorite part in the video is when you see the sea captain on the screen, and that's one of my favorite parts too. Maybe my favorite part. There's a little game in the splash exhibit at Zilker Park, and I wanted Joe to film me playing that, and I wanted to make sure he got the sea captain because that game's really cool. I mean, there's not really much you do in it. It's for, like, kids. But still, I like to play it because I'm a kid and I like games. And I wanted, like, Joe, we got to film this for the video. So, yeah, the Sea Captain would be my favorite thing, too. So, I'm actually glad that Lance likes it so much. So, that's Sting of the Bee. That's the story of Sting of the Bee. And we'll try to get, if I can get some time tomorrow, we'll do another song story. I've got a bunch of these I gotta do. God knows how. I didn't even count how many I had to do. So I'm just winging it. And I'm just doing them one by one, video for each song. Trust me, if I was to do all these songs in one video, it would probably be about 6 to 8 hours with all the storytelling. All right, thanks for watching. I'm going to get out of here and probably you know, do some editing to this video and then putting it up online and maybe relax for the evening, maybe have a cold one or something, I don't know. Alright, thanks for watching, good night, comment, rate, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. Everybody have a good time. Everybody have fun tonight. Everybody Wang Chung tonight. I will see you on the flip side, and good night from YouTube.